yeah, before we start, make sure to like, subscribe, and press the bell icon to get notifications for all our new videos.
Monster Musume no Oishasen. In the town of Lindworm, where monsters and humans coexist, Dr. Glenn runs an exemplary medical clinic for monster girls with his Lamia assistant, Safi. Whether receiving a marriage proposal by a centaur injured in battle, palpating the injury of a mermaid, or soldering the delicate wounds of a flesh golem, Dr. Glenn performs his job with grace and confidence. But when an unsavory character seeks to steal a harpy egg, how will the unflappable Dr. Glenn respond? Peter Grill to Kanja no Jikan. Peter Grill is known throughout the land as the world's strongest fighter. He has a girlfriend who he's steadily trying to get closer with. Life is good for him, until he realizes that dozens of women who want to bear strong children are all vying for his seed. Number 8. Top Wo Nere 2, Die Buster. Generations have passed since the war with the space monster started, and none remain know how it began, with even records of those times being scarce. It is a lost cause, but humanity still fights against time, relying on the Topless, a group of elite space pilots with special powers that allow them to use the Buster machines, the last hope against the space monsters. Nono, a girl from a remote Martian town, has heard tall tales all her life of the legendary pilot Nono Riri, and wants nothing more than to leave her humble life behind and follow in the footsteps of her idol. Though she has no idea of the dangers that lie ahead, nothing will stop her from achieving her dream. While Nono is down on her luck, she chances upon the lonesome topless pilot Lal C. Milk Mark, and decides to stake her entire future on following Lal C no matter the cost. Number 7. Ari Ferretta, From Commonplace to World's Strongest. Ari Ferretta from Commonplace to World's Strongest follows the typical narrative of most isekai anime where the main protagonist gets magically summoned to a whole new world along with his classmates. The twist here is that despite being the main character, he only gets a single subpar transmutation skill unlike the rest of his classmates who acquire a myriad of new abilities. What follows is his tale of being ridiculed all over again and his quest for survival in an unforgiving world. And then of course, though Harem is not exactly a core theme of this anime, it proves to be quite a significant part of it later on. At the end of the day, almost like all the other anime on this list, Ari Ferretta should not be seen with a critical perspective, and as a viewer, you should just laugh away with all the banal comedy that it offered. Seikoku no Dragon R. Learning to ride and tame dragons comes easily to most students at Insarvian Dragonar Academy, except for first-year student Ash Blake, who is known by his fellow classmates as the #1 problem child. Poor Ash is the laughingstock at school because, despite his unfashionably large star-shaped brand that marks him as a future Dragon Master, he has nothing to show for it. His dragon has never appeared. Well, until now that is. One fateful day, Ash's dragon awakes in full glory, but appears different than any other dragon seen before, in the form of a beautiful girl. What's worse, Ash soon discovers that this new dragon has attitude to spare, as she promptly informs him that she is the master and he the servant. Ash's problems with dragon riding have only just begun. rewrite. Kazumatsuri, a modern, well-developed city renowned for its burgeoning greenery and rich Japanese culture, is home to Kotaro Teneji, a high schooler least privy to the place's shared values. Content to fill his pockets with frivolity, the proud and nosy boy whiles away his time pestering the self-proclaimed delinquent Haruhiko and indulging in his amorous feelings towards the oddball Kotori. Equipped with the superhuman ability to permanently rewrite any part of his body to multiply his strength or speed, Kotaro is naturally drawn to the supernatural. One special meeting with the lone member and president of the Occult Research Club, the witch Akane Senri, leads to Kotaro reviving the Occult Club by recruiting Kotori and 3 other members: the clumsy transfer student Chihaya, the strict class representative Lucia, and the unassuming Shizuri. As Kotaro unveils hidden secrets with each member of the Occult Club through their shared adventures, he will inevitably encounter a fate only he might be able to rewrite. Beatless. With great advancements in technology, mankind has created Hayas, human-like robots that act as public and personal servants for society. Unlike many others, the kind-hearted high school student Arado Endo treats Hayas as equals, but his financial situation keeps him from ever owning one. However, his normal life is shattered when an ordinary run to the local grocery store goes horribly awry. Viciously assaulted by a hacked Haye, Arado is on the verge of death, but luckily he is saved by an abnormal Haye carrying a weaponized coffin. Her name is Lashia, one of the 5 highly advanced Hayes that recently escaped the clutches of the mysterious Memeframe Corporation. Faced with a hacked car threatening to run them over, Lashia offers Arado a deal. In exchange for saving his life, he must register as her new owner, thus taking full responsibility for her actions. With little choice, he decides to trust this artificial girl and allows her to live in his home. Though Lashia begins to adapt to her new peaceful lifestyle, she warns the entranced Arado of one thing: she does not have a soul. Itsugi no Chaika. For 500 years, the taboo emperor, Arthur Gaz, ruled the Gaz Empire with an iron fist and conducted inhumane experiments on his own people. But his reign came to an end 5 years ago when mighty warriors, later known as the 8 Heroes, defeated him in a battle for the capital. His death ended the 300-year-long war between the Gaz Empire and the Alliance of 6 Nations. In the present day, Toru Akira is a former saboteur from the war who has difficulty settling into a peaceful world as he cannot find a job where he can put his fighting skills to use. An opportunity appears before him, however, when he meets a white-haired wizard named Chaika Trabant. With a coffin on her back, she is searching for the scattered remains of her father in order to give him a proper burial, and she hires Toru and her adopted sister Akira to help her. However, the 6 Nations Alliance, which has now formed the Council of 6 Nations, dispatches Alberic Gillette and his men from the Kleeman Agency to pursue and apprehend the late Emperor Gaz's daughter, Chaika. With a shocking revelation of Chaika's identity, the Akira siblings must choose between helping her gather the remains of the tyrannical emperor and upholding the peace the continent strives to maintain.
Dokyu Hentai Hexeros. In a world on the verge of a great disaster that began 5 years ago, heroes who, with the help of a device called Hexeros, used the power of Ecchi, Age, and erotic power, Ero, to save the planet from libido-devouring monsters. Enjo Redo and Hoshino Kirara are childhood friends who have drifted apart from each other. One day, they're caught in a battle against a sensor bug that feeds on human sexual energy to evolve. After successfully taking down the enemy, they join a group of heroes like them, using the erotic power of the Hexeros Force to fight off monsters.
Haitugesso no Grimgar. Fear, survival, instinct. Thrown into a foreign land with nothing but hazy memories and the knowledge of their name, they can feel only these 3 emotions resonating deep within their souls. A group of strangers is given no other choice than to accept the only paying job in this game-like world, the role of soldier in the reserve army, and eliminate anything that threatens the peace in their new world, Grimgar. When all the stronger candidates join together, those left behind must create a party together to survive. Minato, the charismatic leader and priest, Haruhiro, the nervous thief, Yume, a cheerful hunter, Shihoru, a shy mage, Magzo, a kind warrior, and Ranta, a rowdy dark knight. Despite its resemblance to one, this is no game. There are no redos or respawns. It is kill or be killed. It is now up to this ragtag group of unlikely fighters to survive together in a world where life and death are separated only by a fine line.